4.
Okay, welcome back to another awesome episode of the Scoreboard Addicts podcast. I'm Nick, and with me as always is Anthony Rook. Wait, hold on that way. I'm sorry, Anthony Rook and TJ, who's hammered. All right, welcome back, boys.
What's going on?
Ant, you didn't say 2 or 1.
I think that's the point of it. I never do. I never say 3, 2, 1.
Why not? You just don't.
Okay.
Just don't do it.
All right. So what do we have on the agenda for tonight, Mr. Esquire?
Let's
drink
go.
Bourbon.
Well, boys, it's been a little while. It's been 2 weeks since we were here. So how is everyone doing? How's your families?
My sister got married. I made that dude sign
right.
for that. I made that dude sign for her.
That's
one
right.
hand to hold, one heart to love, one mouth to feed. Get out of my house.
Now she's his problem.
So that's always good, good times there, good to see the family it's been a while since I saw my family.
Yeah, I went guys weekend a couple weekends ago and had a very interesting round of golf. I won't go into it, but let's just say I was threatened.
Oh yeah. I forgot we talked about that.
I really wish I was there.
Podcast.
Nothing would have made me happy to be there.
You probably would have murdered that guy, but good thing you weren't.
That's what
there.
we need. TJ going to jail. That's
Yeah.
I have a good lawyer.
I would have got him out. What about you, TJ? What you been up to?
Just a lot of work. Nothing but work. And then did a little. My wife and son took me to Wildwood this past weekend for my birthday. That was my birthday gift. Had a great time.
Nice.
Played mini golf out the ass. Ice cream all over the place. Drinking beers. The only bad part was had a nice balcony that overlooked the ocean, but no smoking on the property. So I brought a whole bunch of cigars down and sit on the balcony every night and smoke. Wasn't able to do it because I respect the rules for some reason.
Blasphemous, though. You should be able to smoke on.
Listen, I mean, this is why I booked us a smoking room when we go to Atlantic City next weekend. We might not have a balcony because then people would kill themselves after going 5 G's into blackjack. But
that's true. Well, we'll tease that later. I guys we have a guys trip coming up for a golf trip playing down in Atlantic City, 2 courses right out there. And then we have some big news I think coming, some interesting stuff. I think good news too, but we'll get to that hopefully by next week. And Baby Yoda Grogu is interrupted Nick over there.
He's bad. He just does whatever he wants. And I'm
Please
trying to behave
Hugsy
yourself.
sits back there. Hugsy doesn't move.
Hugsy is the bee's knees and the cat's meow. He's a good boy.
Yeah, he's a good penguin.
Grogu,
how about we jump into it, boys? We got NHL playoffs going on right now. We have the Golden Knights trailing 2-0. Trailing by 2 against the Canadiens, the French Canadiens.
They are up 1-0 in the series, though.
Yep, 1-0. And the other series, Islanders Lightning, are tied. But before we get into the games and how good they've been so far, I owe an ice. So
get down on one knee, sir.
I'm not getting down on a knee this
Get
time.
down on a knee.
No.
We're old.
Yeah,
man.
dude, it's tradition.
You can't do that to him.
Get on a knee. Is that how you propose too? All tight-lipped and sitting down in a chair?
That's
Make
gonna
him
be
choke.
heartburn.
That'll make it better.
That's gonna be heartburn later.
Hold on. Let's go to the timeout. Buck Showalter's on the Yes Network now.
Mm-hmm.
When did that happen?
He has been
Since when?
since I think since last year.
You
He hasn't
get
been
up,
able to get a
go to the
job.
Middle East for a year, and the whole world changes behind your back. It's bullshit.
All right, well, getting back to the NHL. I was talking this about TJ before about the Canadiens in that game 1, the first 10 minutes. They really took control of that game. They weren't able to break through. They weren't able to put any goal. No, they didn't score yet. And the Golden Knights took over from there on out. But as we're watching so far in game 2, they're kind of doing the same thing, because at this time they did break through, and obviously they broke through twice in the first period here. So Golden Knights are down. I don't know. Shea Theodore had a great game that first one. I think he had a goal and an assist. But I guess you guys have any your aspects of the game?
I mean,
game 2.
It's going to be a grinded out. It's going to be a grinded out series. I mean, you know what you have. Both teams have the firepower to just start running up the score. I mean, the Vegas came out a little slow tonight. I mean, 2 shots on goal in the first 10 minutes is kind of stagnant. A little flat-footed tonight, but overall, it's going to be a good series. I'm not surprised if this thing goes 7. The one thing that does irk the hell out of me is it has been a long time since you've had a Canadian team win a Stanley Cup, and I don't like the fact that they're just essentially gifting them into the semifinals, a Canadian team, and all of a sudden, oh yeah, for the Stanley Cup, we're going to lift the COVID restrictions. Like, you sons of bitches.
It's been like 30-something years, or almost 30 years. I think the last team to win from Canada was, I want to say it was the Habs in 93.
Something like that.
Was
It's
it the
been a
Habs?
long time,
I think it was the
yeah.
Habs in 93. We talked about this last week.
I don't like
it
gift
is
wrapping
kind
a
of
team
weird
there.
because they just changed the divisions. You know, they pretty much did just give away a spot. Almost, I won't say give away, but you know, they gave a spot in the semifinals to a Canadian team.
Think about it. You have a conference, a conference made
Just
up of
Canadian teams.
Montreal, Winnipeg, Calgary, and Toronto. I mean, you just gave an eighth of the league, quarter of a chance of making it to the Stanley Cup.
Yeah, you really did gift it. You gave it to I get like not to one specific team, but 2 Canadian teams in general. Like, there was guaranteed to be a Canadian team in the semifinals of the Stanley Cup playoffs this year.
Right, and listen, all those teams were pretty good this season, and I'm not saying they wouldn't have been there in the playoffs, but I don't like the gift wrapping. I mean,
it is what it is. You know, to get through a season, you know, if Canada's got rules like that, Canada's got rules like that, and you know, it's the national winter pastime of Canada, because the national pastime of Canada is actually lacrosse. If you didn't know, it's actually lacrosse, which is not surprising because it's just like fucking hockey, except you run instead of skate.
Yeah, right.
But you know,
fastest sport on 2 feet.
Yeah. So it's not surprising that they did that, but at the same time, it's like bitching about it now is not going to do anything. So
makes me feel better.
I've just moved past it.
All right, well, moving over to the Eastern teams, which is basically like the Eastern Conference semifinals, is the Islanders versus the Tampa Bay Lightning, who obviously that Game 1 win by the Islanders was pretty impressive, because I just think Tampa Bay Lightning are just head and shoulders above everybody else in the league. Such a deep team, and Islanders come out there and they win that Game 1. Obviously, last night did not go their way again. And now you have an even series there, and the Islanders are going back home with the.
Is there 2 unlikable teams as bad as Islanders, Tampa Bay? I mean, as a Ranger fan, I hate the fucking Islanders. It is what it is. I'm not saying they're not talented. I'm not saying they didn't build a team from the ground up and they're not excelling. But fuck the Islanders. And then Tampa Bay is just like the Rangers of the South. I mean, they take every one of our players that we decide we're not going to pay anymore. Yeah. And then with the whole, if you're coming here, you can't wear an opposing team's jersey. It's like, oh, fuck yourself.
Well, I just want to point out, I only hate the Islanders because they represent Long Island. Fake New York. Like, that's it. Like, if they were from someplace else, I wouldn't give a shit. If they were like, I don't know, Poughkeepsie or
Buffalo.
Nah, yeah, even Buffalo. Like, I wouldn't hate them as much. But the fact that they're fake New York, like, nothing I hate more than Jersey and Long Island. And the Devils and the Islanders are just a combination of things I hate. People who pretend they're from New York City. Bothers me to no end.
It's rude.
I'll be rude. I don't give a shit. Like, listen, when I was younger, I was with a guy. We were down in Georgia, and he was from freaking Long Island. And people would go, "Where are you from?" And he'd go, "I'm from New York." And I'd go, first of all, you need to clarify. You're not from New York. You're from Long Island, buddy. All right. You live in freaking Suffolk. That's not even Nassau. You don't even live close. You live out there, dude. You're an hour and a half out on the island. Like, you are not
from train New York. Ride too.
Because when you say I'm from New York with that disgusting Long Island accent, schmucks from Georgia think you're from New York City, and you're not. All right. You need to clarify that shit. I knew a girl, she'd be like, I'm from New York, but not that New York. I'm from Mechanicsville, New York. Good girl. She knows where the fuck she's from, not New York.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm watching this game. It's like the Heat.
Chris McCormick, that was a tangent for you.
The Hawks about to take a 3-2 lead over the Philadelphia 76ers, the number 1 seed in the East.
Listen, but before we leave hockey, can we address the situation with Matthew Barnaby calling out our guy, Sean Avery.
I saw that. What was that about?
Listen,
I'm going to fight Matthew Barnaby for him.
I mean,
not
listen,
that he needs me to. He'll do it himself, but I'll offer.
Listen, I like Matthew Barnaby when he was on the Rangers, but the balls on this guy, I mean, it's fucking Sean Avery.
Did you
call him out? Oh, hilarious.
Yeah,
and that's what a man does say. That's a guy sitting there saying, no, I don't need this fucking barstool money to get into a ring and fight you. You come to my fucking driveway and we'll fight if you want. Have a good time.
My favorite part was, what is that, a stat sheet on the back wall? The only 2 goals you scored in the NHL?
Tremendous.
That was pretty good.
Because Barnaby's going off, and there's like a stat sheet behind him.
Yeah.
And Avery was like, what is that? The stat sheet for your only 2 goals you ever scored?
Listen, if that ever went down, I mean, we know what corner we're in. Avery all the way.
Yeah, if they ever fight, we'll live stream that video of us watching.
That's what I mean.
On Avery.
You see Matthew Barnaby sitting there with his hair all coiffed up in his little home office. It's like, dude, Sean Avery's out there on the streets fighting people every day. That's fucking sitting in the bike lane, cabbies, everything. He's real New York City. He's still got the gruff.
I will say my favorite videos were of him doing the bike lane. Whenever someone parked in the bike lane and he like went around, was like policing it. And then one time he goes to the one guy, he's just like, "What the fuck are you doing, jerk off? What the fuck's wrong with you? Get the fuck out." And then the guy's like, "Are you a cop? Are you a cop?" He's like, "No, I'm not a fucking cop. Get the fuck out of the bike lane."
No, dude, there was nothing better than he was doing a podcast with Biz Nasty from Spittin' Chicklets, and he was hanging out in New York with Aves. And Avery was like, "Come on, check this out." And they went to Times Square and they took pictures with like all the fucking fake Elmo and fake Disney characters and shit. All these crackheads panhandling for their next $5 for drugs or whatever the fuck they're doing, in between getting shot at by the gangbangers that now run Times Square. But he's like, "Listen, we're just going to take a picture with them and they're going to expect money. We're just going to walk away. Fuck them." Amazing. Amazing. Didn't know what to do.
How much urine he probably got on himself touching those people?
That's a lot of urine.
So much fluid.
The only person worth giving $1 to take a picture with is the naked cowboy, because that guy's just fucking awesome.
I'm surprised he didn't get stabbed walking around Times Square.
my cousin's in town from Kansas, and he's like all excited he saw the naked cowboy. He goes, "He doesn't look that good anymore." I'm like, "Why have you been looking all these years? What the fuck is wrong with you?"
Moving on to hockey here, we got the New York Rangers new hire, Gerard Gallant. Am I saying that right? I always feel like I have to put some sort of French on it.
Gerard
Gallant.
Gerard, it's just Gerard. I don't know where you're getting this Gerard from. Gerard.
I'm trying to be French.
Wave a white flag.
Yeah, really.
What do you guys think? It's not Patrick Roy as
bonjour, you cheese-eating surrender monkeys.
It's not Patrick Roy as our king Sean Avery told us that he believed it was going to be Patrick Roy, and it ended up being Gerard Gallant. So what do you guys think about it?
I think I said that a few weeks ago, didn't I? My pick was Gerard Gallant. We were talking.
Yeah,
about
you did say. I believe.
Good hire. Look what he did year one.
Yeah.
For the Golden Knights. I mean, good hockey guy, knows his shit. I think he could do well in New York. I mean, he's got a good group of young kids to mold. I like our chances of building a quality team.
I do like the idea of him coming from a successful franchise, so he's got a bit of a pedigree to say, "Listen, I was over there, we were winning. Just listen to me and we'll do it here." And you can do stuff like that. When you come over and you're kind of a winner already, you got a little bit to shake with. When you're a rookie, when you're coming out of college, you have to be charismatic, and the boys got to like you, and maybe the boys didn't like, David Quinn. Maybe they just didn't like Quinn. So, I mean, it's one of those situations where, if you're a proven guy, you come from someplace, you have a reputation already built at the professional level, then they gotta listen a little bit better than if you were just coming in brand new to the NHL and you got somebody like Buchnevich, or you got somebody like anybody on the Rangers that's been there for a minute and going, "Well, why am I listening to you? You just got here, guy. Like, welcome to the NHL."
Yeah, I mean, think about what he did with the Misfits the first year of the Vegas Golden Knights. All those guys no one wanted, and then you got Now he's coming with the New York Rangers with some real talent. You have Panarin. You got, obviously, Lafreniere.
Capo Caco.
Yeah, Cabo Caco. So, I mean, using those guys with Gerard Gallant, I think is going to be, I think, a much better situation than where we were at with David Quinn. So,
yeah, listen, it all depends on this expansion draft and who we're going to lose, and hopefully it's not a big loss. Hopefully we only lose maybe one, but I mean, we might get handicapped right out the gate. We have a lot of young talent. You can't save everybody.
Yeah, that it would suck to lose somebody big, but I guess with the expansion draft, sometimes it does happen. But.
Yeah, listen, my fear would be somebody like Fox or something like that slipping by the wayside. But
no, that's not going to happen.
I think they'll protect.
Well, you know they're going to protect Kako. You know they're going to protect Lafreniere. Okay.
Yeah, you have to with two. Those like
Panarin and Shesterkin and probably Fox.
Yeah.
But that means Buchnevich is on the block.
But Buchnevich has been on the block.
Mm-hmm.
Zibanejad might be on the block.
Right.
But Buchnevich has been on the block. So I mean.
It just sucks because the expansion draft, like usually like you're worried about losing these guys to like free agency or like leaving the team. Like we have to worry about a different team coming into the league and just taking our guy for basically. I mean, what do you get in return? Is there
draft picks, I believe.
You get draft picks. I think don't they have to sign them too though when they bring him in or something like that? There's some sort of rule. I don't know the rules, but it just sucks. It's like one of those things it's coming. You're going to lose somebody. There's just nothing you can do about it.
Right.
And it's all to help NHL make more money at the end of it. And like your team suffers from it.
Listen, they're making the money right out the gate. I think the entry into an expansion team is a couple $100 million. So
yeah, of course, they got money right off the bat from just that. Them just trying to start the expansion team. So,
imagine having to get told you're leaving New York and you have to go to fucking
Seattle.
Washington.
At least Washington last time it was Vegas. Like last time it was Vegas. It's like
right,
go to fucking Vegas, get pool parties,
yeah,
show
right.
girls.
No, now instead you got to go to
Seattle.
autonomous zones and fucking them firebombing fucking police stations and federal courts and shit.
Grunge music and Starbucks.
Rain all the time. And you wonder why those people are fucking miserable. They deserve
I
to be
often
miserable.
think that hipsters are just when grunge grows up and gets a job.
It is.
But not a good job. Not a good job.
No.
Like mommy and daddy's money, but like I'm an artist. I'm following my dream.
They still got the same shirts, flannel. Yeah, they just button them up now.
All right, well, moving on from the NHL, we got the MLB and the latest controversy. It's like they always get in their own way, and MLB is just killing itself as much as they can. When they complain about no one watching their sport, it's just they can just blame themselves. It's now in the middle of the season, the MLB has stopped pitchers allowed to use sticky substances. So, what do you guys feel about this?
I mean, it's don't get me wrong. I mean, the integrity of the game, you don't want foreign substances on the baseball and stuff like that. But it seems that pitchers were using stuff as simple as just a little rosin on their hand and suntan lotion, stuff like that, just to get a better grip, a drier hand, whatever they're doing. I mean, listen, I'm not for cheating, but it seems like at this point, every pitcher in the MLB is coming out and saying this is what we've done for the past 20-something years.
More than that.
So we've always had done shit to get a good grip on the ball. And I mean, I think there's definitely a distinct difference between, the old Vaseline ball and rubbing something to make your curveball drop more on the ball, where you're actually doctoring the ball versus just drying up your hand and making sure you have a better grip. I mean, if they turned around and said batters can't use pine tar anymore because it's an advantage if you can grip your bat better, I don't know. It definitely doesn't bring fans into the sport with this going on. Not saying that pitchers, having the success that they had over the last season alone and all the no-hitters you've seen and stuff like that. I mean, but to mid-season, it's such a problem, and it seems like if it was such a problem, it would have been discussed long ago and not all of a sudden now because batters aren't hitting. It seems like everything they do is counterintuitive to bring fans to the game. Oh, hey, we're going to change up double headers. We're going to extra innings. We're going to put a guy on second base. We're going to tighten up the tolerances on the baseball so they don't go as far. Everything they've done so far is just killed the fucking game, but they refuse to put through the DH in the NL, which I think will open up the game a lot better.
TJ just hit the nail on the head. Fucking, that's why we call him Hammer. So I feel that the biggest concern with the whole getting some tack on your hands is the spin rate idea. And when Houston started banging trash cans and such, before that happened, I already had my ideas about their pitchers. Because if you looked at somebody like Verlander, he had like a 5 ERA. And then he goes out to freaking Houston, and all of a sudden he can throw 98 again. And I'm just sitting there going, their pitching coach is not a pitcher whisperer that all of a sudden he can add 3 miles, 4 miles an hour to a fastball. Because if he could, then everybody in the whole league would be doing it already. And I already had my suspicions of doing something illegal. I knew it. Like, I was like, and Cole too, because when Cole was on the Pirates, he was good. He wasn't that good. And it's fair to say, well, he didn't find it yet. Okay, I'll buy that. But then you look at guys like McCullers and all these other guys on that team, all of a sudden they just rejuvenated their careers and they became somebody on that team. There's no pitching coaches that good. And then now you look at them now, what are they doing now? Now the rest of the league caught up to them and they're all doing it now. So this concept of like, oh, they've always been doing it for years, that's bullshit. People weren't throwing 100 miles an hour. Every pitcher in the league throwing 100 miles an hour in 1999. And maybe that's why these guys are getting hurt every game. Random injuries. There are no workhorses like there used to be. Once upon a time, guys like Roger Clemens and David Cone, they threw 33 games a year. And they got hurt very seldomly. David Wells, very seldomly. Didn't walk people either. These guys, they're cheating to throw the ball faster because they don't know how to pitch. I don't care what anybody says. If you can't strike somebody out throwing 92, you don't know how to pitch. You know how to throw. You know how to throw real hard.
Yeah.
But that's not pitching. And
Greg Maddux towards the end was throwing 88 and getting strikeouts.
Jamie Moyer threw 70-something for the last 10 years of his career.
If anything came out of this, though, we do have Pedro Martinez on TV talking about how if they're not going to rub up his balls the way he likes them, he's going to rub up his balls the way he likes them. So, that's a victory.
That was amazing.
It was incredible.
Yeah, well, here's my thought on it. You have the new rule now is that the pitcher's caught with the sticky substance, first offense, whatever, it doesn't matter. 10 games automatic suspension.
Yeah, but paid.
Yeah, wait, hold on. That's not my point, though. My point is now you look.
He froze on us.
Uh-oh. He's gone.
I know my internet.
The MLB shut him down. The MLB just shut him down.
He was going to say something, and freaking Rob Manfred was like, pause. Nope, we're not going to have this.
Not letting the cat out of the bag.
Am I back or no?
You're back, yeah.
Okay. I fucked up anyway what I was going to say, so I was going to say systemic system of cheating.
It's always a systemic system.
All right, yeah. Okay. Here's my thought, is that the pitchers, first offense caught with sticky substances is 10 games. Now, the Astros had an entire system cheated. They went through, you have the cameras, you have the radio back and forth, the guy in the hallway, all this shit, every single person in the organization.
Oh, Manfred's at it again. Shut them down.
I'm having a bad day. Oh, these are good bloopers.
Dude, the next is there's going to be a little red dot laser on his forehead.
No, we're going to see some random guy walking from behind him, judo chop him, and just carry his body away.
Burlap sack him over the head.
I'm getting heartburn from the fucking smeared off ice. All right.
You're going to wake up in Vegas with no shoes.
All right,
he's going to wake up in a trunk naked.
They took his shoes again.
Let's try this third time.
It's like somebody put a lacquer on this wood gun.
Are you going to use all of this, Nick? You're going to use all of this now? Oh my God. This is horrible. I don't even want to say it now.
When the MLB shuts down your podcast.
Systemic system of cheating. Go ahead.
My internet's going down again. Fucking shit. The MLB really wants to stop me here.
We'll do it live. Fuck it. We'll do it live.
I'll just give you the audio. You can just do it on like my frozen face.
We did that once, episode 1.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I know. That was bad. The internet. All right, let's try one more time. All right. So my point here is that the pitchers, if they get caught, it's 10 games suspension, right? But you have the Houston Astros that have this entire system of cheating from the top to bottom. Everyone in the organization was in on it. Yeah, the guy in the field, in the outfield with the camera, the guy in the hallway who's relaying it, the trash can, Oscar the Grouch coming out, telling everyone to swing or not to swing. And then after all of that, there was 0 suspensions for any of the players that took place in it. You had AJ Hinch, who got a suspension, ended up being, it was a COVID year, so only missed out on 60, not even suspension, he got fired or whatever it was. He was banned from baseball for a year. Ended up being only 60-game season. So essentially he only gets a 60-game suspension, and he's back to coaching again. He's coaching the Detroit Tigers. So the sticky substance in the middle of a season where they've already been using
same thing with Alex Cora.
Yeah, I'm Alex Cora too. And then MLB had already been like turning a blind eye to this substance thing, the sticky substance. And then all of a sudden, the Astros got absolutely nothing. And now it's a 10-game suspension if you get caught cheating as a pitcher. But they've literally gotten 0 punishment for the Astros. And I think that's the problem the players are having right now. Not more than, we can't use the substance anymore. It's more the fact that, well, if they're caught cheating, they got absolutely nothing. But now we get caught cheating. Now you guys want to do something? It's just the MLB shoot itself in the foot over and over again.
Well, I'll say this. Baseball's driven by offense.
Listen, they seem to do what's in their best interest until they decide to shut it down. I mean, look at baseball in the 90s. Everybody knew most of your home run hitting players were doing steroids, and it was fine until it wasn't. It was fine when they were coming off that strike, the lockout, all that stuff, and then you had the McGuire-Sosa battle. It was okay then. And then all of a sudden they decided to crack down on it. And it seems like this is what happens with the MLB. They do things in waves, but the way they do things is to not hold anybody accountable until they decide to hold people accountable, and then they go over the top.
Well, yep. I think the steroids thing's a little different though, just because it's one thing, integrity of the game. Steroids are dangerous. Ken Caminiti's not with us anymore because of steroid abuse.
Oh, I'm not saying that there's definitely a health difference. 100%.
It's like WWE. You know what I mean? Like the WWE had to get shut down. They had to create the whole wellness program, not simply because it's illegal. I mean, the game I play. Watch some old WWE wrestling from the 90s. Take a shot every time you see a dead wrestler. Yeah. You'll be hammered in 10 minutes. Yeah. I mean, you get the Heart Foundation in a ring, and 4 out of the 5 guys are dead, and all before the age of 60. So I mean, the steroid thing with baseball is a little different. You're putting people's lives.
No, but the point is, it was okay and it was great for the sport until it wasn't. You know what I mean? And
you're right, but I think they would still be allowed to do it today if people weren't dying.
But I mean, look at it. You had the report that came out that Alex Rodriguez was allowed to take testosterone replacement therapy. It was allowed by the MLB because he reported it and said it was doctor's orders and it was good to go. I mean, you only found out about it because A-Rod was under the microscope. How many other players got a doctor's thing saying that, oh, yeah, well, this guy needs testosterone replacement therapy? It's not hard.
A bunch. You just don't talk about it.
We all can go get TRT right now. They go on symptoms.
Yeah.
And guess what? The symptoms are the most basic guy symptoms ever. Hey, I got a beer gut and I'm feeling lethargic lately.
I was just going to say lethargic. I've been lethargic since I'm like 13.
Yeah. Ever since I got a job, I've been very lethargic.
We all.
Oh, look at this. Look at this. It's just like out of the mist. My wife brings me an alcoholic beverage. Thank you, sweetheart.
Wow, look at that.
What do you think about the sticky substances on the baseball?
You just said on the balls. You just said on the balls.
No comment. Babe, you know how I like my... Never mind.
You should have just said how you like the sticky substance on the balls and see what happens.
I'm going to leave that alone. I'm going to have respect for my wife.
Who's sticky substances? What?
That's that tangent that McCormick's talking about.
So the Yankees suck.
Yeah, that's the next one. That won't be. Yankees suck. Mets are in first place. It's Bizarro World in 2021.
Listen, the Mets are in first place in the worst division in baseball.
I know, the worst division.
Let's throw a parade for them. They're the smartest kids in special ed.
Jesus. Well, get back to the Yankees. They did win 2 straight, though, against the winning team of the Blue Jays. They went up to, I was going to say Toronto, but they're actually in Buffalo, these games. Gary Sanchez, back-to-back games with home runs. He's heating up. He's had actually pretty good couple weeks now, so that's good.
Trade him immediately.
New York Yankees, and obviously, I mean, they haven't been playing great. They got swept by the Red Sox. They split the series with the Rays. Then they got the sweep against them with the Tigers. I mean, it's been pretty brutal the last couple of weeks for the Yankees, so it's good to see them turn into a positive direction here. Hopefully, they can do something with it.
Yeah, well, when you got Cashman coming out and saying we have all the pieces that we need, we're going to be fine. Okay, and Aaron Boone's coming out every day like, oh yeah, we're good. No, you're fucking not. Throw a garbage can at somebody. Fucking do something crazy. I mean, Jesus, a little fucking effort. We get it. It's easy to be the Yankees manager until it's not. You just go out there with your lineup that anybody can fucking. A 2-year-old can draw up the Yankees lineup with what they got. Okay, and you just go out there and you play baseball. There's no fucking science to it except the statistics that they want to throw in. Enough already. Have a little feel, a little touch. I want to see Boone get a little fucking fired up. Call somebody out. Tell somebody they fucking suck.
I want to see some soul, some like fight in that team.
There's no heart. There's no heart.
None.
It's business as usual. It's a business for them. Are you getting the waitress?
No, I'm getting the Ross from Friends.
Oh, she's telling you to keep it down?
He's ordering a beer from his wife.
No, I'm not. Sorry.
Did she tell you to keep it down?
Check.
Yeah, she did.
Is that Rob Manfred? That was Rob Manfred, wasn't it? Telling you to move on to the NBA.
Yeah. Well, we also have to talk about the New York Mets. So
why?
Because they're a first place team. They did it with all the injuries. They did it in the worst division of baseball, but they're still in first place right now. And only because Jacob deGrom is like absolute stud of a pitcher. We obviously all know this.
He's filth. I mean, the guy has driven in more runs than they've driven in against him.
And he's also dealing with injury bugs because now he left the game early again tonight. So now who knows next time when we'll see Jacob deGrom. But obviously he's having a tremendous year. Probably going to get another Cy Young if he doesn't get, he's not out for an extended period of time here. But, I mean, good to the New York Mets. I mean, think about all those injuries. Remember what was that one podcast we did? I just listed every single person on the New York Mets who was hurt. It was just
it was like 20-something
a long
names.
list of every single guy. And they're getting reinforcements back. Conforto, they said, could be back next week. They have, I think, Jeff McNeil starting to come around.
Listen, Smith got back in the lineup, hit a dinger. I mean,
yeah, Smith is back. Who else? I think it said Albert Almora is coming back soon too. I think they're not getting as much help in pitching though. But another good pitcher on the team right now is Taijuan Walker. He's been pitching pretty well lately too. So I think with their reinforcements coming up, I think the Mets should stay where they are and maybe even, start trying to make some space, try to run away with that division.
Think about how much better off they'd be if they had a DH.
Wouldn't every team be better with a DH? Well, actually, except for when deGrom pitches.
Even then, why would you I'm sorry. There's a reason Babe Ruth stopped pitching when he started cranking out home runs. All right. I mean, it's true. It's true. Yeah. Even, I mean, it's just, it's even if the guy can hit, and when I say he hits for a pitcher, he bats 200. I mean, most of Major League Baseball is batting 200 regardless, but most of the time the pitcher's an automatic out.
Yeah.
No, is it worth getting him hurt just to see him get a hit once a week?
Unless you Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah, he'll be, like I said, is it worth getting him hurt if he's going to get injured? All
right, well, moving on from the MLB, we're going on to the NBA now. Just do a quick playoffs recap right now. Currently, as we said before, it's a 3-2 lead for the Hawks over the number 1 seed in the East. They actually were trailing that game by 20-something, and they came back at 1, I think it was like 3 or 4. So that's another surprise right now in the NBA. And everyone woke up this morning to some crazy news in the NBA was the Kawhi Leonard injury. He's going to miss the rest of the series against the Jazz. And then Chris Paul I think he has COVID, but he's in the COVID protocol. He is in COVID protocol, which they say they don't know when he's going to be coming back, which is kind of crazy because they're already in the Western Conference. It's good thing they slept already, but they're going to play the Jazz or the Clippers, and they might have their leader, Chris Paul, there. So
he's in a Yankees kind of position, and he got vaccinated and he got sick anyway.
Did he? I don't know if he got vaccinated or not. I don't know because I feel like they don't release like in the NBA who's vaccinated and who's not.
No, he was vaccinated. He got sick anyway.
He got sick.
He got the
J&J.
the Yankees third base coach.
Phil Nevin.
Phil Nevin, same shit. You got the vaccine, got sick anyway. So, I mean, I'm not downplaying the vaccine. I'm not saying the vaccine doesn't work.
No.
I'm saying it's one of those unfortunate series of events.
Well, vaccines are not 100% proof, so it's going to happen to somebody, and unfortunately happened to Chris Paul. And hopefully he'll come back before the Western Conference Finals. Maybe he'll get lucky, and the Clippers Jazz go to Game 7 and just pushes it out the Western Conference a little bit longer.
Yeah, he's part of that, 6% or some shit like that, whatever it is.
Yeah.
6% that, 94% effective, whatever. He's part of that 6%. It happens.
Yeah. And then, of course, with these injuries, TJ's favorite basketball player, LeBron James, made it about himself again and tweeted out a thread of how they should have never had the season start so early after the finals last year. And I know how to take care of my body. And I told you this was going to happen. This is the first time in the history of the NBA this many NBA All-Stars are injured.
The guy's a clown. Just go away. Go hide. Shut up.
It's just, you're already out of the playoffs. Shut up. Move on.
Go be one of the of 25 people that watched the fucking remake of Space Jam.
I heard he's changing his number back to 6.
He is.
What a douchebag thing to do.
I know. All your fans buy the 23.
Yeah,
jersey,
what a douche. He is such a piece of shit. Every time
that's what his fans get.
I'm like, wow.
That's what his fans get.
Yeah, fair enough.
Fuck it.
Because do you think he's doing it because Kobe had 2 numbers to the Lakers?
He's doing it for some self-serving reason. I mean, it's all about him.
I heard that he wanted to give Anthony Davis 23.
Yeah, but Anthony Davis isn't taking it. He's such an asshole. I can't stand him. Anyway, did you guys catch the Nets game last night?
I did not, but I did hear the comments from Sir Charles Barkley, and they were scathing. Did you guys hear the comments from Charles Barkley about the Bucks?
No, go ahead. I think
he said it was an embarrassment to basketball. He said he knew at the half they were going to lose because they was playing the dumbest basketball he's ever seen in his life.
Even though they were up by like 20-something.
Yeah, and then he went on to say that they don't deserve to eat. He's like, if I was that coach, y'all ain't eating on this flight. I was like, wow.
Terrible.
I never thought about it, but that is harsh.
Shit is terrible.
That reminds me of like, what was it, Major League Back to the Minors, where they're all like, they win a game or something like that, but the dude blows off the bunt sign. And they go back there, and he's like, yeah, we won. And if he flips the sandwich table, like, you don't get to eat today. Screw you guys.
Yeah, yes.
I was like, wow, they don't get to eat on the flight. That's rude. And it was like 10 o'clock at night, too. Like, damn, I didn't even get a meal. Charles got standards.
Well, the impressive part about that game was obviously Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
He had 49 points, triple-double, and played every single minute in that game. The last time that happened was back in 2018 when LeBron James did it, when he played every minute in a finals game. But I don't know, it was just one of those legendary games for Kevin Durant. And there was one point where it was like he was attacking the basket, getting to the hoop, getting the foul calls, and the next thing you know, he just steps back and just starts draining threes. Just like in PJ Tucker's face. I think he had like 3 straight at one point in the fourth. And
that was the other thing that Barkley had to say was, KD's out there doing his thing, and not once did Giannis cover him.
No.
And he's sitting there going, he's the best player on your team. He's the best player on their team. How do you not one time say, I got him? Just to throw a hand in his face.
And Giannis has that length too, just like KD does, because that's why KD shoots so well. He has that length over the defender. But my other question is I think Giannis is all defense like NBA.
Giannis.
Right?
It's just Giannis.
Giannis.
It's just whatever. Giannis. What is it? Why?
Yeah, all right. So Giannis.
Thank you.
I think he's all defense too. NBA team.
That's
team.
Not a thing. Stop. You're just making shit up now.
No, isn't there something
give somebody a dirty look in the NBA, you're gonna get a technical foul. Okay, it's a fact. All right.
Well, let me look it up. I gotta look it up because I think there's something.
They give coaches technical fouls for stepping over a line. And that is a legitimate thing. Like if you're a coach and you step onto the court to argue with the referee, they're like, technical. You. Really?
That's true. They do that.
Every other sport other than hockey, right? The coaches walk onto the field, right? Because in hockey, if they did that, they'd probably fall because they got dress shoes on ice, and that's not a go. But
yeah,
basketball is soft, man. There's no defense in basketball. There's no Dennis Rodmans in basketball.
Yeah, no, there's not. But speaking of fights and people who are not soft, Did you guys see the Suns in 4 guy who beat the shit out of the Jazz
Dude,
fans?
you know what? That guy deserves all the beers, okay, in a stadium. All right. That dude tried to come over and sucker punch him over the top, and he just grabbed him. Talk about taking out somebody from a position that you got the high ground, you're winning most of the time. Except if you're fighting a guy that knows what he's doing, and he straight up grabbed that guy around the collar and just uppercutted him repeatedly, like he knew what he was doing, like he's been there before. All right, and then told him Suns in 4.
That doesn't.
That's the best part of it all.
Nobody saw fucking Star Wars, I guess. I have the high ground, Anakin. Like,
yeah, I was just gonna say
attention to that.
That guy let Obi-Wan down. He had the high ground and he lost.
Oh, he lost in a big way. He tried to play it off too, like, oh yeah, whatever, I'll walk away. Oh no, I'm gonna sucker punch you, and it didn't work out well for him. And that's what should happen to every person that tries to sucker punch somebody.
But
you get
the
made a
best
fool.
So that video goes viral, and then Devin Booker tweets out, "I got to meet this Suns in 4 guy." This is so awesome, but that was a good one.
Epic.
Well, moving on. Obviously, the Euro UEFA soccer championships are going on. I've only been watching only because it's like something to do in the middle of the day because it's on at like 11 a.m. like 2 o'clock. So I put it on at work, put it on the screen like while I do my job. So one of the things I noticed was they were talking about the Italian captain of Italy team. He was the
Italian captain of the Italy team.
Italy team, yeah.
All right.
No, the reason why I have to say that because actually you could play for a national team and not be from that country.
Yeah.
That's why I said he's an Italian captain.
Either way, he's the Italian captain because he represents Italy. Just saying.
Whatever. Leave me alone. I had a Smirnoff already. It's affecting me. I'm like a schoolgirl.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's Smirnoff, and now you're talking about soccer.
No, but Rook, keep going because I watched one of these games too. Keep going.
So they were like, hit the captain. He's still doing it. He's 36 years old. And I'm just like, 36 years old. So like to them, it's like old. And I'm like, I'm 33. Like I'm over the hill if I was like an athlete. Like no one would expect anything from me at 33.
Oh, if you were a running back, you'd be done 2 years ago.
Yeah, definitely.
Unless you're Frank Gore.
The weird thing was that they made it such a big deal. He was only 36, but then I realized that Ronaldo's 36. So
he is?
Yes.
Fucking handsome son of a bitch.
So Ronaldo's 36. He's 36, and so the Italian captain's 36. Obviously, the Italian captain's not as good looking as Ronaldo, but
wow, is this what we're doing?
Fucking Ronaldo, man.
But seriously, like Ronaldo is like the same age, but they don't make a big deal that he's 36. He's old over the hill. I mean, I get he's performing, but the Italian captain almost scored a goal today.
I feel like every soccer game, everybody almost scores a goal.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
It's like, come on. You would think when the net is like fucking, 10 by 12 or some shit like that, there'd be more than one goal or 0-0, and everybody's getting all excited, 0-0.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here.
Well, that was soccer.
No, that's not soccer, dude. Christian Eriksen, I believe is his name, fucking died on the field on Saturday.
No, but did they revive him?
Okay, but he was still fucking dead. I didn't just imagine them doing chest compressions and break out the fucking AED and fucking shock his ass back to life.
It was from boredom because he's playing soccer.
Fatality.
Soccer used to be fun, okay? There was hooligans, the hometown team would burn down the cars in the visiting team's parking lot. Okay, that was fucking soccer. Shit ain't soccer.
From boredom. Playing soccer.
Jesus Christ.
I'm watching.
I just got canceled.
I'm getting ready for the wedding. I'm sitting in my brother-in-law's backyard, and we're watching the soccer game. Next thing you know, we're all looking and we're going, did that guy just die?
It was scary.
He's doing this is him. Just face planted, and we're like, holy shit. Next thing you know, trainer comes out. Yeah, he's not breathing. Quick, get the stretcher out. And then they look at the players. The players start crying immediately because it's soccer. And they form like a little ring, and you just see the dude on the floor. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 going. And I was just like, oh my God, he's dead.
Nick, as a lifeguard, how was his form on the CPR?
It was hard to see, but he looked like he was straight up and down, like he wasn't breaking ribs. I'm going to give him a thumbs up. I used to be a lifeguard as a adolescent youth.
Yeah.
And as a former lifeguard, I'm going to give him a thumbs up because the guy came back to life, and that's the whole point, isn't it? I mean, he didn't
give him a yellow card for flopping with nobody touching him.
They revived him at the hospital, so he was dead for a minute.
It's crazy. It actually was really insane. I actually kind of forgot about that.
No, it was absolutely. I've never seen that. I've seen people get hurt playing sports. I've never seen somebody die on the field. Wait, hold on. Wait. No, I've never seen somebody die on the field. I was going to say that third base coach got nailed in the head, but he didn't die right then and there. He died at the hospital later.
So actually,
this dude passed out. This guy was out and just chest compressions almost, I won't say immediately, but like definitely about 30 seconds after the initial evaluation, like, hey, are you okay? They put him in a recovery position, and next thing you know, boom, 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 boom. And I'm just sitting there going, oh my God, he just died in front of thousands of people. That's such a macho man way to go.
So Nick, actually, I have a crazy story. I have seen that on the field before, which is actually really scary.
Who died?
He didn't die, but the same way. They revived him back at
so he did die for a second.
He did die for a second. Yes. I joined a softball league here in Marlboro. My first time joining, I think it was my second game. And we were watching and we were playing, our right fielder dropped the ball. So our pitcher dropped to the floor, and I thought he was like pissed that like the guy dropped like an easy fly ball. Next thing you know, he just starts like convulsing, and everyone's like, holy shit, like this guy's having a heart attack on the floor. He was face down in the dirt. They had to lift him over. They started doing CPR compressions. They had police come, EMS came. They had to bring him to the hospital. Luckily, he survived. He actually came back and pitched the end of the year. And like,
we had going to say later that day, he came back in the hospital in an ambulance, and he's like, I'm going for game 2.
No, they canceled the game.
WWE shit comes back in an ambulance, starts hitting people with a bedpan.
Yeah, they canceled the game. Then we had to come back like a week later and finish out the game. And then he came back. I think I want to say like this happened like maybe March, like early April, and then he came back in like mid-July to play again, which was pretty impressive. But it was
downplay your buddy.
Scary.
I'm glad he's still around.
Absolutely.
But him almost dying playing softball at a probably an accelerated age and probably a not so accelerated.
Yes,
it's a little different than like the captain of the Denmark team who's in the prime of life, just passing out in the middle of the field.
Yeah, that's
the last time I saw that was Kadeem Hardison in the 6th man when he went up for that dunk and didn't come back down. Like they did not revive him. And the Huskies won the Final Four.
We have to watch that movie and review it.
I saw it the other day. It was fucking incredible. That movie's amazing.
All right, well,
moving on from soccer into more enjoyable things.
Into more sports is the golf U.S. Open, which we did our live earlier. Well, by the time this comes out on YouTube, on Wednesday we did our live. It's available on Twitter if you'd like to watch it, and we did our pick. So just to recap real quick, I had Brooks, Rory, and Finau. TJ, who'd you have again?
Brooksy. And then Schauffele and Dustin Johnson.
And then Nick.
And I went Schauffele, Phil, and DeChambeau.
Loser gets iced.
Nah, I'm tired of icing.
How are we going to do it? How are we going to do this? We'll just do a shot bet.
All right, we'll do a shot. What are we doing a shot of? I'm doing a shot of tequila.
Sounds good. I got tequila. So what are we going to do?
We'll do it in AC.
No, what are we going to do? What are the stakes? I guess all their scores added up.
Yeah, I think I would read the best thing, right?
Okay.
That sounds fancy.
Yeah. We'll let TJ figure it out who wins, loses. Then he'll just
if we're doing shots, I lost. I lose.
Well, we'll just do the one shot.
That's what you think. We're doing seven.
You know how many times I went to AC and did only one shot every time?
It always starts with one.
Yeah,
if you only remember one, it's only one.
Yeah, I only remember the one. So, and last but not least, going into boxing. So this match doesn't happen until the 24th, I think, or the 26th. When is it? Tyson Fury, I think it's July 24th. Oh, July 24th. Sorry. I was thinking it was June. July 24th, Tyson Fury rubber match. Did you guys see the stare down?
I did.
The epically long 5-minute stare down and just looking at each other. So
I'm not a stare down guy. I just the whole intimidation factor. You're still looking into another dude's eyes. It's creepy. It's not intimidating. I mean, just smile, shake the guy's hand, and then beat the shit out of each other. We know where this is going. There's no need for a stare down.
Honestly, I'm with you on that. And I'll say this. I think I appreciate the guys that go in and it's business. You know, that whole animosity toward your opponent in a pre-fight, a weigh-in, or any of that stuff. If you got to go in there and try to pretend like you're going to beat this guy up in order for you to beat him up, then you were going in losing already. You know, I feel like the guy who goes in like, this is all just a business to me. I'm going to win despite dirty looks or words. Words and looks mean nothing. You know what means something? These right here and this right here. That's it. All that other crap is just a spectacle. It's a show. It's Mayweather type shit where you have all these stare downs and you talk a lot of crap, but still nobody gets knocked out. You know? So for me, you know, you go in there and you're about your business, you know, like you think about certain guys like Tyson. He talked a lot, but at the end of the day, whether he said one thing or he said nothing, the fight was the same. The fight was the same. So me personally, them staring each other down really meant absolutely nothing to me. I read Tyson's biography and he was like, oh, the stare down. He said the stare down before the fight, like in the ring, when you're shaking hands, that one's more important than a stare down 30 days prior to the fight. What does that mean?
Right.
Yeah,
No one's about to get punched.
I didn't realize it was that far away. I even wrote July 24th.
It's July 24th. It's over 30 days away, and I'm going to stare at you because we're fighting in 40-something days.
Yeah, but the funny thing is I put July 24th in my notes, and in my mind I was still thinking, oh, it's like a week away. Because I thought it was, I forgot it was
June. It's not even the summer solstice yet.
That was pre Smirnoff too, and I still thought it was soon. But yeah, that pre-fight stare down bullshit is stupid. Do the fight, like no joke. When you're shaking hands and the ref is explaining you to the rules, that's when you stare. That's when you focus. That's where your laser focus comes from. You know, not 30 days before the fight. Like, who gives a shit? I'm not thinking about you 30 days before the fight. I'm thinking about what I got to do to get to the fight. That's more important. Who do you think?
And then when I'm in the ring with you and the gloves are on and we're about to go, now I can focus on you and I can clear the mechanism, you know, eyes on the prize, forward check, back check, paycheck.
What do you think? Who's going to win?
I'm going to go, honestly, I'm going to go Fury. Just, he's got the reach. He's fucking like 6'8" or some shit like that.
Yeah.
He has the edge because he already won last year. You know,
I'm actually looking forward to that boxing match because I feel like it was good last time.
It was a good fight. It was crazy that the ref let this guy continue to fight even though he's bleeding from his ear.
Yeah. What do you think,
know what?
TJ?
Hey, he's still standing up. He wants to fight. Let him fight.
Yeah. Listen, I like Tyson Fury. I mean,
he's good for boxing.
Yeah.
So we are officially a Fury podcast.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say I'm a Fury podcast because when he fights Anthony Joshua, I'm going to be rooting for Anthony Joshua.
Well, all right, fine.
But for this fight, you know, again, he's good for boxing. He's not Mayweather. Let's put it that way.
No, he's not.
You know, and neither is Wilder. Wilder's not Mayweather either. You know, he's going to go out there. They're going to knock people out. When heavyweights are doing good, boxing is doing good. If heavyweights aren't going out there and putting up, if people aren't showing up to watch a heavyweight fight, boxing's done. And lately, UFC's been crushing boxing. The only boxing that's been able to compete with UFC has been celebrity boxing. That's it. Where retirees have to fight in order to get people to watch.
TikTok stars.
Yeah, TikTok stars, YouTube sensations, TikTok stars, and retirees. Tyson versus Jones Jr. You know, people, that was like the only fight that rivaled UFC last year.
Right.
What about Chad Ochocinco getting knocked out?
He got knocked down. He didn't get knocked out. He got knocked down.
Still.
I was more surprised that he was the first fight. That was more surprising than anything. Because there was nobody there.
So this is what we got to do now. We got to blow up on this podcast so one of us can fight somebody else out there in the podcast world.
Who
I
would
got
you
my
fight,
gloves in the next
TJ?
room.
Who'd you
fight? Dude, you're gonna throw money at me? I'll fucking fight anybody. I'll fight fucking Ronald McDonald. He doesn't know what's coming.
I got my boxing boot right here.
Look at this guy. He's all ready. Nick, who would you box for some YouTube money?
Bieber.
Justin Bieber.
I'd fight Miley Cyrus. I'd fight Miley Cyrus. Pretty much the same person, isn't it?
I think they actually are the
Essentially.
same person.
What about you, Rook? Who
I fight
you
Jose
wanna
Altuve.
Altuve?
Wow, dude, leave Altuve alone at this point because he might beat you.
Winner gets the 2017 MVP award.
I'm sorry, but Jose Altuve, he just might beat you. He might pull some fucking Canelo Alvarez shit on you and just beat the shit out of you.
Whatever. Be worth it for the money.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean.
Well, I think that wraps about everything up. But I do owe one more of these bad boys.
You came prepared.
Oh,
You all right?
no. The heartburn. Oh, so much heartburn.
Still more manly than soccer.
All right. Thanks for joining us again on another Scoreboard Addicts podcast. Catch us again next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. Again, from us here at Scoreboard Addicts, I'm Nick. That's the Rook. And TJ is hammered. Thank you and good night.
I'm
Good
not
night.
hammered. Good night.
Stay rock.